Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Marjorie Harris and I'm delighted to welcome a singer-songwriter who stems from England's West Country and has just released her third studio album, Someday Now.
Walked along the path, I made no retrograde, but I got a feeling that
Over the last few years, she's collaborated with indie acts like Black Midi, Yard Act, Black Country New Road. Her name is Katy J Pearson and she's currently on tour around Europe with The Last Dinner Party. Katy, thank you so much for coming on Arts 24.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. But before we delve into your new album, we need to discuss The Cure, who are releasing their first album in 16 years this week. What did The Cure mean for you?
So I was thinking about this last night, and I think they're a band that have consistently been true to their sonic palette, and they've just been very unique. And I think Robert Smith is an amazing lyricist. I think they've been very strong to their visual identity since the beginning. And it's just exciting to see bands that, did start a long time ago, coming back after 16 years and still being seen as relevant and contemporary and pushing things. So yeah, I think they're just such a cool band, and yeah, I'm excited for them.
No, absolutely. No, so it's after years of teasing their fans by dropping new tracks during their live shows, The Cure are at last releasing their 14th studio album. It's called Songs of a Lost Word. Frontman Robert Smith experienced the death of his parents and older brother in recent years, and grief and disillusion informed a lot of the songwriting. This new album is goth rock in its purest form. Let's take a listen to their track, A Fragile Thing.
Every time you kiss me, I could cry, she said. Don't tell me how you miss me. I could die tonight of a broken heart. The loneliness is changing. We've been too far apart. And it's too late now for me to just forget. I never thought I'd need to feel regretful. I never was. For all this time alone has left me hurt and sad.
And Robert Smith says The Cure could potentially retire when they reach their 50th anniversary. That's the 50th anniversary of their debut album, and that will be in 2029. Now, Katy, we first chatted for France 24 back when you released your first studio album, The Return. Can you imagine retiring when that record is 50 years old?
Oh my Lord. I feel time is passing quickly, and I feel like as I get older, I've just released my third album, so yeah, I feel like when that happens, that's gonna be crazy.
No, and when we first chatted, so you were in an interesting headspace because this first album was kind of like a comeback when you'd nearly given up on music because of horrible experiences with major record labels songwriting.
Yeah.
And there it was like a bounce back. What mood were you in when you went into the studio for this one?
I think with Someday Now, yeah, I think it felt like, with everything with music, I think the resilience for me to kind of keep pushing, and I think the more you create, the more you become confident in what you're doing, I guess. And I think being older, you feel more self-assured. So I think just going into this record, I just felt so much more sure of what I wanted to do, who I wanted to work with, the band I wanted to track the record with. And it was just so nice to feel so confident in the shots I was calling and feel like, yeah, I'm fully in control. I'm not doubting my decisions. And yeah, so I feel really happy to be at that point.
Oh, well, how about we check out the music video for the track that opens this new album, because perhaps Katy J Pearson likes to do things backwards. It's called Those Goodbyes, which is a delightful indie pop gem. Taken from Katy J Pearson's new album, Someday Now. A beautiful and slightly creepy video there. What's this song about?
So this song, I had it for a while, and I think it's about, just all the kind of fears of saying goodbye to things, love, people. And the song was actually inspired, the beginning with the Celtic Blessing was a very close family member died, and it was a kind of dedication to her, and the Celtic Blessing was read at her funeral. And so when I did the recording, I was like, I want to put the Celtic Blessing at the beginning. But the song, I think I just knew I wanted something like that at the beginning. But it's just a song about, I think it's just a song about vulnerability. And, you know, life, you do have to say goodbye to things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
I'd be so somber.
And it is. You've got a lot of 80s tints to this new record compared to previous work. Was this conscious?
Definitely. I think Bullion, who I work with, is very much into that kind of sonic world, but I am as well. And there was a band called Operating Theatre, which had Roger Dolan, and we got obsessed with them. And they have, I think it's an album called Miss Morja, and it's amazing. So we kept going back to that. And then Broadcast were another, obviously they weren't kind of, I mean, I think maybe they formed in the late 80s, but they, I think, had a similar kind of electronic palette that I wanted to kind of explore. So I think with Bullion, and I think we just did our research, like we had a really lovely, nice joint playlist, and we go back to stuff.
It sounds absolutely great. I was wondering also, how familiar are you with, French music and artists? Because we're going to, maybe this man from Tahiti 80, Xavier Boyer, who's a singer.
Yes.
Well, he popped by France 24 recently to tell us a little bit about their 25th anniversary, but also their 10th studio album, which is called Hello, Hello. How about we listen to him?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Xavier from Tahiti 80. You're watching France 24. I think we're basically saying hi to everybody. It's just like, it's a way of saying we are Tahiti 80 and this is our 10th album. We're still there. So maybe some people have forgotten about us and now they're checking the new album. I think it's always a nice way to, like when you meet someone, just to say hello. On this album especially, there are some songs like Every Little Thing, About Us. We're talking a lot about the band, about being in the band after 25 years. We're still excited to be with each other, and there's still also a lot of fun about making music and listening to music. We're still fans of music. It has become kind of the reality for Tahiti 80 to be famous to be a cult band in France and to have all these followers outside, especially in Japan, because we had a gold record for the first album. So it's like, when you start a band, you make jokes about being in Japan, but it was like the best thing that happened to us. So we feel very fortunate about that.
Can you feel my heart beat when I'm close to you? Can you feel my heart beat when I'm close to you?
Every album is a little different. The last album was like the lockdown COVID-19 album. So I guess we were a little frustrated about not being in a room together. And for this album, Hello, Hello, we went to a studio in New York, like in the countryside. There was only the band and the producer, and we spent 10 days in the same room.
You've got the lines of a cat. You never fall flat. No crossing fingers to guess the lucky numbers. You've got the world in your hands. You don't need a plan. You're oblivious to your own universe.
If you want to make like pop music, indie pop music, I think the most appropriate language is English, even though we're listening to a lot of French music too, but it just felt more natural for us in a way.
Tahiti 80 or Tahiti 80, who are currently on tour around France. Katy, you're in France to tour with The Last Dinner Party. How's that been going?
So it's the first show tonight. It's the beginning of the tour. So I'm just so excited. And starting Paris is obviously just so fun. So yeah, it's just also all female lineup bill. So Love Cat, me, and then Last Dinner Party. So to be around so many women is just fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah, and when are you coming back to France or across Europe, the world?
Yes, I think hopefully coming back to France next year. So, and to play a headline show. So, yeah, that should be really exciting.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on Arts 24. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Remember to check out Katy J Pearson's new album, Someday Now. We're going to play out with Tyler, the Creator, who's just dropped Chromakopia. It's the American rapper's new studio album, which he's been teasing over the last couple of weeks with incredibly eye-catching videos. Here's the track Noid featuring actress Ayo Adeberry, from the series The Bear.
Things feel out of order. Look around, I'm not sure. Paranoia, no. Feel it in my aura. Living between cameras and recorders. These but can't afford ya, no.
Sinifu na vo kamba 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 vile